Welcome everyone. My name is Liza, and I'm just another human being here sharing space, time, and energy with you guys here on Earth. I decided to hop on because I felt moved to hold space for anyone that needed it, based on the climate of our society and the things that are happening, particularly this novel coronavirus. It's caused quite a frenzy, and as I look online and I go with what I feel, because I'm extremely empathetic, so therefore I can feel the collective energy. This is, how should I say, I have like these feelings of tremble in my chest, in my system, and I'm just trying to be mindful of it, and at the same time protect myself, because it's easy to get consumed by other people, and I want to just stay more in the zone of holding the space as opposed to holding your feelings and your energies and your thoughts. But I just wanted to remind everyone that I know this is a time that's difficult and challenging and scary, but going into a frenzy and into fearful behaviors is counterproductive at this time. And I get it. I think it's almost innate to react that way, but you have to, at a time like this, have to make conscious decisions. And I know for me, I've made conscious decisions like all day, every day. I'm on self-quarantine, and I work in a hospital, and so I deal with the coronavirus patients hands-on, and whenever I'm not at the hospital, I'm in self-quarantine. Therefore, I'm alone. I don't have anyone here with me. I'm grateful that there is another space that my children are able to be in, because I know I'm not sick, but I rather be safe, especially having the little knowledge that there is an incubation period for this virus. So just as a precautionary measure, I decided that I'm going to self-quarantine. And we have to move that way. We have to be selfless. You know, there's a lot of selfish behaviors that are occurring right now due to fear. Fear is like taking over the world, and I'm working so hard to go against that, not to let it consume me, because we absorb, and I don't want that. You know, I want to know, how can I be productive? I mean, we all have ways that we can be productive. We're not in control of everything that happens in the world, but we are in control of our reactions and the way that we deal with things. So we do know, we have limited knowledge, but we do know precautionary measures that we could take to prevent the spread, that including washing hands. And I know people like making jokes about washing hands, but it's extremely crucial, because it's like, it could be, the virus can be on a surface, and you can touch that surface where there's a doorknob, a handrail, and no, when you touch it, you don't automatically get it. But the minute you touch your face, your hair, your neck, your eyes, your nose, that's how you enable it to reach your pulmonary system. And that's when it goes to work. At my job, I have seen what it looks like. And, you know, so for me, you know, it's like the more you see, the more you know. It can be scary, but at the same time, it makes me, it increases my drive to be safer. So now the next issue is the majority of people have to stay home, and part two of the frenzy is that people are not knowing what to do with themselves. People that are alone are not used to being alone and don't know how to deal with it. And then you have people that are home with their families and they're dealing with the opposite challenge. They're dealing with, like a suffocation, the anxiety that comes with being in a small space with, the people that you share this space with all the time. And so some family members are at home with their spouses and their children, and I know that too can be overwhelming. But there are so many resources that are available on how you can occupy your time. And it's totally personal. Like, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but just know that you have choices. And, it's interesting because one of the things I realize is that from past experiences, I have actually been prepped for this time. There was a time in my life that I was never alone, nor did I know how to do that. And so I can understand what it is that people are feeling or struggling with during this time of isolation. Some people are not ready to just be with themselves. And if you haven't lived a life of, enjoying your own company or being alone and just occupying yourself with yourself, that can be a lot for someone, especially with people that have, traumas and stuff like that, because this can be a triggering time. Why? Because you're with yourself and your mind and your thoughts, and but I'm here to say you're even in control of that. It's what we choose to think about and how we choose to pass our time. I mean, I'm doing everything. I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm creating videos, I'm baking, I'm cleaning, I'm talking to myself. Like, I speak to my children on the phone, and that's basically